Hi there, Laura Violet here. I hope you all are doing so very well today. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be reviewing the Natasha Denona Glam Palette. So if you guys are interested in knowing my thoughts and feelings, seeing a quick tutorial on how I created a look with the palette, then please stay tuned. And for those of you that have subscribed to my channel, I want to thank you so very much for subscribing. And for those that have not yet subscribed, would you consider it? So anyways, I won't talk your ear off too much, so we can go ahead and let's just get into the review. Okay, so getting into the review, I will note that I do have, if you couldn't tell, I do have my foundation already applied, and I'm actually doing a review. It's the Too Faced Born This Way Matte 24-Hour Foundation. If you guys are interested in checking out that review, I will link it down below and just get my thoughts and opinions on it and see if maybe it's something you want to try. But today, right now, what we are focusing on is the Natasha Denona Glam Palette. All right, so for starters, with packaging, as you can tell, packaging is very, very reflective. It is made of plastic, and I can tell you for weight-wise, it is a little bit on the heavier side. You can see it's pretty thick. It's pretty thick. But opening up the palette, it does come with a mirror. Some people like a mirror, some people don't. I personally don't care either way. Look, my eyes are so bad. I cannot do makeup in a regular mirror. I need something with a magnifier on it, or magnifying, whatever that thing's called. I need help. I need help. That's what so I typically don't use these mirrors in here regardless. So it really doesn't matter to me whether or not there's a mirror in my palette or, or if there isn't. It doesn't make it. So the palette does come with 15 shades. And what initially drew me to the palette is just, it's pretty. Normally when I like eyeshadow, it's normally on the warmer tone. This is more on the cool tone. One of the things about this palette that I really have been enjoying is the fact that it has matte shades and it has shimmer shades. I really like a palette that offers both. I'll do a couple swatches for you guys. I will start by saying that the palette on Sephora's website does retail for $65. If I find a dupe of this for you guys, I will be sure to let you know. Or if you know of a dupe, comment below, let me know. I can just do a review, do a side-by-side comparison, and let you know my thoughts and opinion on that. Yes, on Sephora's website, what it claims to be is an everyday palette that creates super dramatic smoky eyes, as well as a variety of natural and extreme glam looks. I would 100% agree with that. You can do a whole lot with this palette, and honestly, for $65, you should be able to create as many eye looks as possible in one palette. This palette includes shade names after the ideal place to apply them. So what that means by that is, for example, these shades here. This one's labeled as Transition. That one is labeled as Crease. That one is labeled as Center Eyelid, and that's basically just instructing you where exactly on your eye you would apply that eyeshadow there. You don't have to stick to that. I'm not going to be sticking to that in today's review of this palette and eye look. So we'll go ahead and get into a couple swatches here. So I'm not going to swatch all of them because there are 15 shades, and I really want to get into the eye look with you guys. And just using the palette for the last however months, I will tell you that these shades are very buttery, very smooth, very soft. So getting into the eye look today, I'm gonna start by going in with my MAC 217 brush. This is a really great brush. MAC just makes some really nice brushes, hands down. MAC, ColourPop, Morphe. Anyways, I'm going to start by going in with Transition and Crease. I'm actually going to take these two colors and I want to mix them together for this look today. And I'm just going to tap that off and just go in with a light. So going in directly into my crease, and I'm angling the brush straight on and just focusing that literally in my crease right there. And just going in with a soft hand. These eyeshadows do have pigment. I mean, they are very, very pigmented. I am barely tapping into the pan, and I mean, look at that pigment. Just going into the other eye, doing the same thing. So still going back and forth, directly in the crease of my eye. Now I'm gonna go in with a brush from my ColourPop makeup brush roll set. And I also wanna tell you guys, I think in my first video, I said that that brush roll was $20. I think I was so wrong. I think I was wrong. And I certainly do apologize for that. So I'll make sure I link that down below in this video. And that way, if you guys want to check it out, feel free to do so. Right now, I'm going to go in with my E15 brush. Just a large, fluffy blending brush. There's no product on this. All I want to do is go in where I've applied that crease and transition shade. I just want to go ahead and start blending that into my crease and blending it upwards a little bit just to kind of diffuse that that shade there. I have not found a good TV show lately to get into, so I have been rewatching The Vampire Diaries, and last night I stayed up pretty late because even though I have seen it, it's been so long since I've seen it, so I kind of forget what's happening. It kind of is like watching it from, you know, for the first time again. But a show that my husband and I were so very into for a long time and still are into, Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. And I will tell you that I know. So before we get started, before I go any further, I don't know if anybody's in the process. I know the show ended a year and a half ago or so. I don't know if anybody's currently in the process of watching it. I don't want to give any spoilers, even though there's spoilers already out there. But spoiler alert here. I don't care what anybody says, Daenerys is still my homegirl, okay? And they did not tell us. There was no, so the writers of the show tried to say that they foreshadowed her going crazy. When? You be ashamed of yourself for trying to lie to the people. Like, no. She didn't I would say definitely in season 8. And see, the last season, you were kind of like, okay, homegirl's getting a little power hungry here. But throughout that, she was not like that. She always had said, I am not my father. And darn it, we all believed her. We all believed her. And I know people weren't happy or thrilled with how Game of Thrones ended. I know. It was anticlimactic. I get it. But here's the thing. Good writing, to me, is defined when you can invoke an emotion or feeling out of somebody. And it has been a year and a half since that show had ended. And I am still, to this day, obsessed and talking about that show. So, hands down, good writing. I'm just continuing to blend and buff that, the crease and the transition shade into my crease, slightly above it. Still using my ColourPop E15 brush. And I've added no additional product to this. So that is looking nice and blended now. I'm gonna go in with my Sigma E30 pencil brush, and I'm gonna take that transition and that crease shade, and I just wanna drag that down here. Oh, excuse me, drag sounds so bad. I wanna go ahead and place that on my lower lash line here. Every time I do my makeup like that, like when I'm going down here, this is the face I wanna make. Do not judge me. Do not judge. This is the face I wanna make. Isn't that sexy? I'm gonna go back in with my MAC 217 brush, and I just wanna drag that same color, same transition and crease shade, no additional product. I'm just using whatever's left over. And I just wanna drag that underneath or just blend it, smoke it out just a little bit more and connect it as well. I want to add some more definition on my outer eye there. I'm going to go in with my JH34. This is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill brush. It's just a little bit, it's just a round, fluffy brush, a little bit tapered. But I'm going to go in there and I'm going to go in with this darker shade Smoke right here. And just go ahead and do just that. Smoke out my outer thingy. I'm going to start by tapping that right in there and then just kind of, you know, buffing it. And I'm going to go back and forth just until I get the intensity that I want to get. Now I'm going to go to the other side and do the same thing. Just pack it on the outer corner. Blend, blend, blend. And move into the crease. All right, back in with the ColourPop E15 brush, no added product or no added eyeshadow, and I'm just gonna go ahead and blend those two together there. So what I like about this palette, and like I said in the beginning, it is just so universal, yeah, versatile. That is all done there. I'm now gonna go in with the inner corner shade. And again, these shades are named in places where you would place the eyeshadow. I'm not going to place it just in my inner corner. I actually want it all over my lid there, and I'm just gonna use my finger to do that. Look how pigmented that is. Look how pretty that is. So pretty. Going back in with my E15 brush with ColourPop, I'm just gonna blend all those together again to make sure that I don't have any harsh lines, that it's not a weird transition. Taking the G28 Morphe brush, this is just like a little flat shader smudger brush. Excuse me, I'm gonna go back in with smoke, going to define my lash line here. Going back in with my Sigma pencil brush, I'm just adding no additional product. I'm just gonna go ahead and drag this back down there just to blend the smoke shade in with the transition increase shade that I initially put down. Trying so hard not to make a stupid face. All right, so last but not least, I'm gonna go in with my Morphe M508 brush. It is just a small smudger brush, and I'm gonna take lash line right here. I'm just gonna lightly tap that in there, and all I want to do is just add some additional definition to the outer corner of my eye. So I didn't intend for this to be like a little wing, but it's turning into a small wing. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with my JH37 brush. It's just like a little blending brush like this. I just wanna add some more of that inner corner shadow to my brow bone and inner corner. I just wanna very lightly place that right at that brow bone there, just to add some shimmer. Add some mascara, some lipstick, and I should be all done. Okay, there it is. There is the final eyeshadow look of the Natasha Denona Glam Palette. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below if you like this, if you have this palette, if you tried it. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have questions down below. But I will say, overall opinion of this palette, is it worth $65 of your money? And I will say that is up for you to decide. For me personally, do I feel like it was worth it? I will say yes, and here's why. Number one, I love the shade range in here. I love the cool tones. There's even a couple hints of warm tones in there. I like the fact that there's matte shades. I also have shimmer shades. I could do a lot with this palette. I can go softer. I could do a softer glam look. I can do a more blown out glam look. It has it all. It has it all, in my opinion. The eyeshadows are extremely pigmented. They're very blendable. They're very buttery and smooth. So there is quality there. I would say that this is a quality eyeshadow palette. The other thing that I was going to point out here, where was I going with this? I would say, to sum up this palette, you know, in all, it's very pretty. It's very pretty. It's very delicate, very girly, very feminine. But like I said, if I find a dupe, if you guys know of a dupe and you want me to do a review, list it down below. I'd be happy to do that for you guys. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. And please, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to my channel. I am trying to build a community with you guys, a community of people who just love makeup, love to talk about makeup, love all things beauty and related to beauty, and just have questions where we can share thoughts and opinions and tips and tricks that work for some and not for others. So subscribe. Thanks, guys. Until next time, take care.